This is Georgia, professional life coach with Magic Mentors. Just doing a little quick shout out and letting you know that over 2022 we're going to be coming onto social media for the first time. We're really excited to assist people from around the country and around the world. My husband and I, between us, have over 30 years of experience in life coach for multimillionaires, for 2 billionaires, centimillionaires, and every average day people from homeless and so forth. And so we just want to reach out and say, you know what, the last couple of years have been challenging for everyone, and we want to give back to a world and a community that's been so kind to us, and we feel so blessed. And so we just want to share our knowledge and things that we can do to assist you in having your best year. With that, we're going to start with the first thing, and that is goal setting, right? So everyone tends to have like those New Year's resolutions. When we do that, though, sometimes we get frustrated because we don't see any movement or anything happening. Sometimes we say, well, we have this resolution, for example, I want to lose weight. Is that enough, right? Is just saying that out there just going to magically wave that wand and that we're going to be okay? Of course not, right? So how do we take those resolutions and what are the things we want to do to make sure that we are progressing and moving forward towards them and that we have that stellar year that we're all looking for? So with that, I have my notes in front of me. I'm not used to being in front of a camera, but I have some areas that if you haven't really sat down and thought through yet what they are, let's get moving, right? But let's talk about those. What are the areas in life that you could look to try to come up with something? One area is, of course, we just mentioned was health. Another area is your business or your income at your job. Another one may be trying to improve your relationships with your family, with your spouse. Learning how to have fun, right? We've been kind of locked up for the last couple of years with everything going on in the world, and how do we go out and relax and let go of that anxiety? What are the things that we can do? So with that, I kind of want to walk through a little bit of a process that we do with our clients and that we do for ourselves. Everything that we're going to share on this channel are things that we also do, that we've been successful at. We put up a bucket list item, right? And then a lot of times we'll throw it into a drawer, we'll put it up on a poster board, and then we don't look at it for a year. Well, that was a great exercise, but it really didn't get us to our goals, right? It didn't really help us make it happen. So how do we make these things happen? So what I like to do is, I'm a spreadsheet person, but you can do this by just jotting it down on a piece of paper. But whatever it is that you know you'll go back and look at again and again, right? So this is something that we're going to keep tracking of. So what I do is I take kind of what we would do in that column, that first column, and say, I'm going to write down the different areas of life that I want to look at. So health, business, income, relationships. We also do spiritual or giving, whatever your faiths or beliefs are, whether that's community, church, civil, otherwise. And then happiness and fun. That's a category that I didn't always put down. When I was younger, I thought if I worked really hard and I did all these things that I would have fun. And what I found is that my personality, I tend to be way too serious most of the time. And I learned that I became like a workaholic and I didn't know how to relax and have fun. And so I put that as a category to remind myself and to hold myself accountable that it's okay to have those moments and those days and those times with your family and your friends and going out and doing things and travel and have fun, right? Because isn't that really a lot of the goals that we always have? If you really put it out there in those big dreams, we want to travel, we want to have great relationships, we want to connect. And so having that as a category, I just think is important. Now, across the top, I put, what's the resolution, right? And so, for example, health, it might be, I'm going to eat healthier. Well, that's a great resolution. Or I'm going to lose weight, right? Or I'm going to start running. That's just one category, right? But those are resolutions. Now, in the area of like income, well, I want to make more money. Great resolution, right? I want to get out of debt. Or I want to save money. Or I want to get along better with my dad or my mom or my sister. Those are great resolutions. Now, let's take it a step further. How do we make that a goal? Well, we need to quantify it, or we need to say how, or we need to say what, why, where, how much. Let's put a tangible thing to that, right? Because right now it's just kind of this vague, abstract thought. So in the area of like, I want to lose weight. Well, how much weight do you want to lose? I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, great. That is a great goal, right? 1 pound a week, give or take. Let's put that down as a goal. Let's say exercise. Well, I want to start running. Okay, great. Let's make that a goal. How many times a week do you want to run? Well, I'm going to run 3 times a week. Great. Put that down. That's your goal, right? And then eating healthier. Well, does anybody really want to eat healthier? I don't. I love my chocolate, right? So what is the result that we want from that? Well, I want to lower my cholesterol, or I want to lower my blood pressure, or I want to lower my A1C or my blood sugar. I want to get my diabetes in check this year. Or, what is it that is the goal or the result of what you want by eating healthier? That's what we're looking for the goal. So for mine, I put, well, I want to lower my cholesterol, right? So that's the goal. Okay, so you guys are getting the idea, right? Income, right? I want to make that at least the minimum amount of money to like make life feasible, where I'm not going backwards, right? Whatever that number is, whether it's 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, whatever that minimum is, and this is always relative, because some people might say, I live in a studio apartment. I don't really need a whole lot. I just need this amount of money to get by. Okay, well, that's a great goal. If you've been going backwards or haven't been struggling with, loss of job, with COVID, with everything, that just saying, I need to get back on track, right? So that's a great goal. Another one might be getting out of debt. Okay, well, let's get out of debt. That's a great goal. Make a budget, save money. Those are all things that we can say are resolutions. Now, how do we make it a goal? Well, I get out of debt by paying off my credit cards. Okay, well, we'll get to this in a minute. You'll see how we'll take this down the line and go a little bit deeper than the average person. So most companies and most coaches tell you, okay, let's take that resolution, let's make it into a goal, let's make it tangible. You've heard of the term SMART goals, right? To be able to do that. So what I like to do then is take that just a little bit further and say, I'm going to break this up into 3 levels. And the reason why I do this is because I want to, one, feel that I have something that I know is maybe a bit of a stretch, but is very obtainable if I work at it, right? Then on the other side of the spectrum, I want to say, if I could live the perfect year with the perfect life, right? If everything's going smoothly and everything's just grooving and I do exactly what I intend to do, what is possible, right? And sometimes we get so stuck in our heads of like, well, that's not possible, that's not possible. And we'll talk about mindsets and limiting beliefs, and you've heard a lot of those before from motivational speakers, and my husband is fabulous at doing that. But for right now, I just want to say, like, well, what would be a great goal, right? So we said, like, losing weight, for example, 50 pounds, that's our goal. Well, what would be ideal, right? Like, well, in my situation, I'd be like, well, losing 100 pounds, right? I'd be in, like, the ideal weight, ideal BMI, I'd, be all buff and 6-pack abs and, right? All that stuff. So that's my amazing goal, right? So my good goal is 50 pounds. My amazing goal is 100 pounds. And then I do what's in the middle, the great goal, somewhere in between. Well, in that case, I just do math, right? And so I say 75 pounds. 75 pounds would be great. I might not be like perfectly buff or perfectly in shape, but I would be really, really thrilled with that 75 pounds. So again, I've taken this goal and I've broken it into 3 categories, right? Good, great, amazing. 50 pounds, 75 pounds, 100 pounds, right? Debt. I paid off my highest interest rate card. My amazing goal. I paid off all my debt, all my mortgage. I am debt free. I don't owe a thing to anyone. Great goal is in the middle somewhere. Maybe I paid off all my credit cards. I paid off all my student loans. And now the only thing I have left is a mortgage and a car payment, right? So whatever that is for you, you figure out what is taking your goal, making it a good goal, making it an amazing, outrageous goal, making it a great goal in the middle, right? So a lot of people are starting their own businesses with everything going on in the world. So you can also take this and apply it to your business or your income. Just say, you know what, my goal is to make $50,000 this year. That would cover everything. That would keep me breathing. That would keep me good. An amazing goal would be $500,000, right? I could pay off my house. I could pay off my debt. I could go on a trip. I could buy a new car or new vehicle. I would have money in the bank that I could invest and save and in 401k, et cetera, et cetera. I could buy that new house. I could, do what I wanted. Whatever those goals are, like that would get me there, right? Okay, so now we've had the $50,000 as your minimum to breathe, right? And say, okay, I'm not going backwards. I've made it. I'm doing all right. $500,000, $500,000, amazing goal. I have no idea how I'm going to get there. That's a little scary, a little overwhelming. I'm not even sure, but that would be the really great dream. And then you pick something in the middle, something that, makes sense as a stretch. You're not quite sure how to get there, but you think it might be possible. Maybe 150,000, 200,000, 250,000, somewhere in the middle, right? Some range that you feel good about, that your gut's telling you, yeah, let's go for it, right? Let's do that. Okay, so you get the idea. So go through each of these categories: health, business, income, spiritual giving, happiness, relationships. Come up with that resolution, make it quantifiable into a goal, and then break that up into good, great, amazing. You'll see what we do with this later. Actually, I want to that is a lot of times we talk about health and money as the two. So let's talk about like relationships, right? So one of your relationship goals could be, you know what, I want to heal a relationship with my dad, sister, parent, mom, cousin, whoever, right? Significant other, spouse. How do we go about doing that? So you say, I want to get along better. That's a resolution, right? I'm going to try more to reach out and get along better. Well, a goal could be, you know what, I'm going to take 30 minutes a day and reach out to each of those people, or at least once a week I'm going to call that person and try to talk to them. And it might be a really difficult relationship. It might be something where, gosh, my absolute amazing dream would have this loving, connected, give and take, equal, validating relationship with my parent. And right now, I haven't talked to them in 5 years, right? Like that's a big swing. And so you're like, I don't even want to think about that. I don't even think it's possible. Maybe that person has toxic behaviors or relationships that have been damaging to me emotionally. How do we go through this, right? Over the course of this year, we are going to walk through on this channel every step of the way in every circumstances, right? How do we go about breaking through these barriers? What we can control, what we can do. It's not always about the other person. It's about what can we do? What can we control? What can we change? How can we change who we are, how we interact with the world, and what we do to get the best possible outcome, right? And I know that especially with relationships, that sets up a lot of limiting beliefs. Well, that person does this or that person does that. We'll get there, right? So for right now, I want to focus on you. What can you do? What are your goals? What are your ultimate dream bucket list goals? And how can we break that up for 2-3 steps that we can see maybe a pathway? As we move forward, we're going to break these down. We're going to go through step by step, like I said. What I would like you to do, if you want to jump ahead, is you can take each one of these category or areas. If you do like spreadsheets, again, you don't have to use one. I do. I have my first tab be my goals for the year. And then each tab, I open up that health and that income and that business and that relationship, right? And that fun and that spiritual giving, and whatever your categories are. You make a tab for each one of them. And then in the future, and as we move forward, we're going to break those down, and you'll start filling those in, and you'll start seeing, we're here, we want to get up to here. What are those steps to climb that ladder and to get to that point, right? So thank you for your time. I I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to assist you guys and to interact. So please respond and comment. Tell me what are the struggles you've had, what are the concerns you have, the fears you have. What are the things that you like and dislike about our videos? We love the feedback. We are always looking to improve ourselves. You'll see, however, I do want to point out one of the areas we're going to do is we're going to be vulnerable ourselves. So we have pretty much succeeded on every goal we've put forth, every bucket list. I've created outlandish, crazy bucket lists, and they've all come true and sixfold. And so, not to brag, but to say this works. And so one of the areas that we personally are going to be working on this year is something I really haven't addressed in a long time. It's something I've kind of buried to the side, and that is our weight and our health. And so as we are assisting you, you're going to also assist us by holding us accountable in our journey. So thanks so much.